What the?
What do you think so far? Hey, it's Friday, the 6th day of October, 2023. I'm Dan Kuntz. Welcome to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It is a 5-star Friday. This is the one day of the week where we guarantee you a 5-star local television program or double your local television program viewing back or something like that. 50 degrees. We're in for 3 more days of just gorgeous weather. It's just phenomenal. So hard to stay inside on days like today. These are the kind of days you want to bottle up and bring them back in February. So enjoy it while you can. Big change coming on Monday. Monday, by the way, is a holiday, federal holiday, Columbus Day. Quick heads up on that. I don't think there's any banks open. I'm not sure about banks. I'm not sure about government offices or anything like that. I know there was no banking anyway on Monday. So yeah, great weather. The forecast you're going to like for the next 3, just in time for the weekend. 3 more days, possible record-setting highs today, tomorrow, maybe Sunday. We just missed a record high yesterday. Got to 79 on Thursday. Record high yesterday, 80. Going to come close to that. Over the next couple of days, we will have the news. It is a Friday in October. That means lots and lots and lots of sports. We'll preview tonight's game that we'll be broadcasting. Eastmont Wildcats, West Valley Rams. From Wildcat Stadium in East Wenatchee, we will be there with our cameras. We'll also preview the Wenatchee Panthers, who head on down the road to Ellensburg to take on the Bulldogs in non-league action and everything else that happened in the world of sports yesterday. In the back half of the hour, we didn't get a chance to do it yesterday, ran out of time, so we'll do Pause for Pets today. You can meet Piggy, the dog, in the bottom of the hour, and part 2 of our inside tour of the new Chelan County PUD Service Center with Dan Frazier, the shared services manager. Took us behind the scenes. You can check it out tomorrow. They have an open house Saturday morning beginning at 10 a.m. and you can look behind the scenes too. It's going to be kind of cool. Lots to get to. Let's not waste any time. Our cameras around the valley in North Central Washington begin our festivities. Same angle and same camera as yesterday, which is why we're giving East Wenatchee all the love today. Sunrise not quite officially here, even though it looks like it's kind of here. It isn't. 7:07, sunrise this morning, sunset tonight, 6:30, 11 hours and 23 minutes of daylight. We're losing about 2.5 minutes of daylight. And as I already mentioned, we almost set a record high yesterday. We could do it. Our normal high is 67, it took 79, all the way to 79 yesterday. Up to Hay Canyon we go. Up near the top of Hay Canyon, looking out over Cashmere, pointing almost due east. You can see the sun beginning to rise over the East Wenatchee bench, way off into the distance. Good morning to Cashmere. We're doing Cashmere High School football 1 week from tomorrow. Both the Wildcats and the Panthers are on the road, and so when that happens and we have a chance to go up to Cashmere and do a Bulldogs football game, we're going to do that 1 week from today. Check it out, Cashmere. Check out the Omi Garden camera. Isn't that pretty cool? Good morning, Rocky Ridge Dam. Good morning to the Baker Flats Industrial Area. Good morning to Lake Antioch from our Obi Gardens camera. This would be a great day to go visit the gardens before the fall becomes winter and they're not open anymore. And Billy Goat, hello, wow. Look at that. Way off into the distance on the upper left-hand side of your screen, you see a little bump there. That's in Canada. That's pretty impressive. Looks like we got the Billy Goat camera panned way back. That looks pretty good. Good morning to the Methow River, to Pateros, Bridgeport, Brewster, and all ports to the north of us. Everybody is in for some gorgeous weather. Don't take my word for it. From the National Weather Service, warm, mild, dry, 76, give or take a couple for our forecast high. Again, we hit 79 yesterday. Going to be pretty close to that. 54 with clear skies for the overnight low tonight. Record high temperature on Saturday, October 7th, is 80 degrees. No, I'm sorry, 79. 79 is the record high on Saturday, tomorrow. That was set back in 2020. We'll be right up against it. Record high on Sunday, October 8th, also 79. That was set back in 2014. We'll be right at it. So we have the possibility. We're not going to break a record today. The record high for today, October 6th, is 90. We're not going to get to 90, no. But we'll be close to a record high, if not surpassing it Saturday and Sunday. And then Monday, here we go. It's going to start Monday night while you're sleeping. or Sunday night while you're sleeping. You get up Monday, you're going to see some clouds, some morning rain, and cooler temperatures, but still above normal, high of 72. Back below normal by Tuesday. We're going to have measurable rain, by the way, Monday night. We like that. A little bit of rain Tuesday, slightly unsettled Wednesday, and then back to sunny and mild conditions by Thursday. I got no complaints. Thank you, Mother Nature. After a break, we will have your Friday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
We're turning up the heat with the hottest deals of the year. Right now, during the hot summer clearance sale, only at Click It RV. #1 in sales and service. The best RV brands. Over 1,000 to choose from. And the best deals of the year on remaining 2023 model year-end clearance with incredible 30% off. Brand new RVs discounted up to 30%. Save thousands. Plus, no payments until 2024. During the hot summer clearance sale. Now, only at Click It RV. 5 superstore locations. Hurry in today.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
Get your favorite beverage and a wide variety of food choices all under one big roof at the Tap Room in Pybus. The Tap Room has the most popular choices for lunch and dinner in the Valley. With unique appetizers, salads, sandwiches, and tasty rice bowls, everybody will find a new favorite dish. Plus many craft beers from Hellbent Brewing, or you can choose wine, cider, or a delightful craft cocktail. Experience the family-friendly Tap Room at Pybus for yourself. It's just what you've been looking for.
Welcome to the Columbia Basin Dispute Resolution Center. We are a local nonprofit serving Grant and Adams counties, helping businesses and people resolve difficult issues so they can move toward a better future. We offer help with workplace disputes, residential issues, family matters, and can train your staff in conflict prevention and resolution skills. Call us at 509-237-8401 to learn more.
Nary a cloud to be had. 50 degrees, upper 70s today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Things change on Monday, but things will change. Nothing much you can do about that. It's 8 minutes after the hour. Deputies and supervisors with the Chelan County Sheriff's Office can now expect a 5% pay raise under their new contract with the county. It's retroactive, by the way, to the start of this year. Chelan County Commissioners approving the 3-year agreement Monday between Sheriff Mike Morrison and the Teamsters Union. The Teamsters represents both groups of employees. The boost in base wages goes to 4% in 2024, followed by another 4% the following year, and the contracts also formalize a change in how deputies move up the pay scale. It allows them to reach the high end of the department's offered salaries in 6 years instead of 20 years, which is what it used to be. The Wenatchee World and the Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce continued their candidate forums on Wednesday night. This one again held at the Pybus Public Markets Local Tele-Event Center. Wenatchee City Council District 5 candidates Anthony Electrify Williams and Charlie Atkinson took the stage. The two were asked questions by moderator and world reporter Oscar Rodriguez, and time is also given to attendees to address the candidates. Topics covered included why they chose to run, homelessness, and one question on what actions the City Council can take to help businesses overcome the challenges of inflation, labor shortages, and a lack of affordable housing.
We got to get away from the cell phone model type of business, how we do business with our businesses in our city. And that looks like this. Charlie gets a cell phone, he gets a cell phone, a great deal at $69.99, the new iPhone. I've been with the same company for 7 years, paying taxes for 7 years, and all of a sudden Charlie gets all the incentives and I don't get it. We've got to figure out a way to incentivize these businesses that have already been here, that have already done the tax, that have already done the work. We're not doing that. We're always looking for a new, better market. It's time for us to steer these funding home. Home is where it belongs, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring all that ideas here.
I think with businesses, if we can create in our community a commitment to think first locally rather than Amazon and any number of online options. If our first option would be, where can I get this? Can I support my local community? I tell you, we would go a long ways in a lot of ways. And so I'd like to bring a spotlight to that. I think it would not only make a better business community, it'd make a better community if we begin to think first about how we can support our local businesses.
A Wenatchee woman is recovering after a fall on a trail to Kolchak Lake. The fall happened on Wednesday, and it was quite the rescue operation. Sergeant Jason Reinfeld with the Chelan County Emergency Management Team said rescue teams, including a U.S. Army medevac helicopter from Yakima, were mobilized after another hiking party discovered the injured woman about 4 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon. She had fallen off the trail into a field of boulders about 2.5 miles from the Stewart Lake trailhead. Rescue hikers from Chelan County Mountain Rescue and other agencies arrived on foot and stabilized her, and the helicopter provided an airlift to medical treatment in Yakima. Reinfeld said the woman is 46 years old, suffered apparent back and pelvic injuries during her fall. City of Wenatchee made it official. Phase 1 of the Grant Road improvement projects gets going on Monday. This is going to be quite a headache in that general area, but it's got to get done. They're going to install concrete pavement at the intersection of Grant Road and Eastmont Avenue, and that's scheduled to be finished by November 6th. The remaining 3 phases of the project are scheduled for spring of next year, and those include asphalt overlays in different areas of the city, as well as upgrading the stormwater system to accommodate runoff. The Washington State Fish and Wildlife Commission has approved a land transaction. They're going to add 650 acres to the existing 2,262 acres of the Chester Butte unit of the Sagebrush Flat Wildlife Area. It's about 7 miles southeast of Mansfield, near Cooley City in Douglas County. It's being purchased using the Cooperative Endangered Species Conservation Fund for its appraisal value, and it's appraised of the property of about $230,000. The property includes 2 parking areas and also provides space for recreational activities. Once it's formally acquired, the land will be used to help further recover the endangered Columbia Basin pygmy rabbit. And Wenatchee Valley firefighters will honor one of their own next week. Division Chief Ron Roy, who served with various fire agencies in the valley for 50 years, passed away back in August after a battle with cancer. Roy helped muster volunteer firefighters for Chelan County Fire District 1, Douglas County Fire District 2, and eventually for the Wenatchee Valley Fire Department, which of course consolidated both of those departments. Friends and survivors plan a memorial. It'll be noon, October 14th at the Wenatchee Convention Center. A vehicle procession will happen prior to the service, and of course, it is open to the public. That's the news. It's 13 minutes after the hour. One more newscast for you tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. That 10 o'clock news might be a little late, depends on how long the football game goes, but 5, 6, and 10 on television. If that doesn't work for you or you don't use TV, you just use the internet. We have it on the internet too. You can watch our news on our Facebook page, on our homepage, ncwlife.com, and on our YouTube page. And if something out there warrants our attention, get a hold of us. Any number of ways to do it. I prefer email, news@ncwlife.com. Sports, you want a lot of it? It doesn't matter if you want a lot of it, you're going to get a lot of it. Next, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether,
we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Come to Cashmere Saturday, October 7th for the Pioneer Village Festival. Here are a few highlights your family can enjoy. Experience gold panning, sipping sarsaparilla in the saloon, riding a pony, or playing the fun and educational activities. It's the Pioneer Village Festival in Cashmere, October 7th, and be sure to thank our supporters of this message.
Cashmere Veterinary Clinic, natural pet care in everything they do.
Boating in the Wenatchee Valley starts at Bob File Boats and Motors. Now you can fish like a pro without breaking the bank thanks to the ProMag aluminum fishing boat by Smokercraft. It features a great layout with a spacious bow casting platform, huge live wells, and in-floor storage to safely stow your gear. See the Smokercraft line of boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
Bob File Boats and Motors, we're dealing. Bob File's gonna make you smile.
Hi, everybody. Dan Kuntz alongside Jesse Coble from Alpine Air. There's ice on my heat pump and under my heat pump.
Well, ice under your heat pump is normal. When we go into a defrost cycle, it melts the frost off, creates water, which freezes to the ground. Ice around your heat pump is a thing that you should probably give us a call about.
Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air for heat and air. Call Alpine Air. Thanks, Jesse.
Thanks.
"16 minutes after the hour, they've already played a football game for the prep weekend. It started last night. As a matter of fact, in Antioch, the Tigers hosting Moses Lake Christian in small school football, B8. Lions came out on top 62-44. 11-man football for the Bees today. Okanagan travels to Tenasket. They'll kick off at 4:30. Bridgeport will host Soap Lake. Manson visits Lake Roosevelt, and Pateros will host Waterville Mansfield. Caribou Trail League play. Chelan will host a non-league game. Colfax coming to town, 6 o'clock tonight. League matchups, Quincy is at Omak. Cashmere visits Cascade. Yep, it's the Pear Bowl, and this year it's in Peshastin. The Seawax split their schedule over today and tomorrow. Ephrata will visit Sela tonight at 7, and Prosser will host Othello. And then tomorrow you got Grandview entertaining West Valley, and we'll get to Wenatchee and Ellensburg in just a moment. The 4th-ranked Eastmont Wildcats, they're at home tonight. The West Valley Rams are 4-1. Eastmont improved to 5-0 last week. Come from behind victory. They beat Sunnyside 28-21. Coach Michael Don says the comeback showed him something about how this team is.
Yeah, no, they got after us early. We really struggled early. We had a punt return for a touchdown, and offensively we struggled to get going early in the first few drives. And Sunnyside jumped on us 14-0, and it was a tough start, but it was good. We saw resolve in our kids. We hadn't trailed like that all year. It was kind of a different dynamic for us, so it's sometimes good to get those games and to be able to settle back in and get it done. And luckily, we did enough to come out with the win.
Chris Nevers is a senior linebacker. He plays football. He's in the band. He's the ASB president. He's a busy guy. And he said last weekend's comeback victory over Sunnyside showed him something about his team.
I mean, it's a little less pep talk and a lot more like, here's where you messed up, here's what we got to do, this play's not working, this play's not working.
Okay, so X's and O's.
Yeah, X's and O's. Shout out to Coachy. He's one of the new coaches this year. He gave a really good pep talk at halftime. He kind of got the guys fired up, which was nice to see.
Bouncing back like that, what does that say to you about this club?
It says that we're 5-0 right now, but we have the ability to go 10-0. I mean, Sunnyside's not a bad football team. They're probably the best team we played this year. Right. And to start 0-14 and then end up winning that game, that says a lot about the guys on the field and what they can do. And, we have the possibility to go undefeated this season, and that's what we're working for right now.
West Valley is 4-1 on the football season. Coach Don says what makes them good is their defense.
Well, they've struggled a little bit offensively. They only average about 200 yards a game, but they're going to kind of go back and forth between the spread and they run some I formation stuff. But they're a little bit different from last year, where they had you got a Division I signal caller, and he's got his Division I wide receiver with him. They're both at Utah Tech, and they're just trying to figure out who they are right now. But they're 4-1 because they play great defense. Nobody's really scoring a lot of points on them. They've only given up more than 14 once all year. Pitched 2 shutouts already, and they're a physical, tough team on defense. So I think it'll really come down to whether we perform offensively this week.
The handsome and talented Grant Olson and the even more handsome and more talented Paul Collard with the call tonight, 6:30. We'll take to the air at Wildcat Stadium. The Panthers heading south. Non-leaguer against Ellensburg. They led 3rd-ranked Moses Lake in the first half last week, eventually losing 35-14. Coach Scott Devereaux says it showed for at least a half anyway that the Panthers can play with anyone.
I was really impressed the way we came out and just started swinging. Our kids weren't nervous, weren't really afraid. We knew we could compete with these guys, and we got some things clicking early. Unfortunately, the second half didn't go quite the same way.
So was that halftime adjustments? Was that getting gassed? I mean, to try to chase that quarterback around, I mean, all night long is kind of a tough challenge.
Yeah, that we just couldn't get him off the field. And I think one play that was big was the fake punt. That drive was a long drive, took the wind out of us quite a bit. You know, we knew it was coming. We stopped him going the way he wanted to go, and then our backside over pursued a little bit, and that guy's got some great speed and made us pay the price. And that was a big turning point in the game. You know, I think otherwise we're getting the ball and we're got a chance to go down and score and make things really interesting.
Ethan Wirtz is a defensive end. He's a good one. He said the lessons that they learned last week against Moses Lake, they'll apply tonight against Ellensburg.
I think that as a team, and me individually as well, we all thought that we played phenomenal, especially at the beginning. We were neck and neck all the way through the first half of the game, we felt like. And I think it showed us that we're capable of a lot more than we've showed ourselves in past years and the beginning of this year. I feel like now we know what we're capable of, and we have a lot to work forward to, and we have a lot to look forward to this game and the rest of our season. I think for me, we all know I'm not the biggest defensive lineman, and they do have some big guys. They have some tall guys, wider guys. I think as a group we need to entrust what we've been doing in the weight room, how aggressive we are, and we need to keep that up. And I think if we just play with our hearts, we should be good. We have a lot of speed up front, which I think will be great with that, and a lot of reading the screen and everything. So I think as long as we stick to our keys and our cues and play our hearts out, we should be good.
Ellensburg is 2-3 on the air, and Coach Scott Devereaux says, yeah, they're linemen. They're big.
You look at Ellensburg's size, they're giant. You know, for a little bit smaller school, they have a 6'5", 315-pound tackle. They got another 280-pound guy. I mean, they're super big up front. They got a running back who runs a 10-7 100-meter dash. That's, you know, a full second faster than anybody we have. They can make some plays. You know, they lost some games early in the year. They played Prosser 7-0 last week, and Prosser's usually a pretty good program. So it's definitely a team we can't just sit back and think, oh, yeah, you know, a small school, we can go beat them. It's going to be their homecoming, and they're going to be fired up. So we have to get off the bus ready to play.
Panthers and the Bulldogs in Ellensburg, 7 o'clock kickoff tonight. Another Big Nine play. It's Moses Lake hosting Davis, and Sunnyside is at Eisenhower. Wenatchee continues their unbeaten streak in Big Nine volleyball. They visited Eastmont, came away with a 3-set sweep. Wenatchee has yet to lose a set in league play this season. Moses Lake defended their home court 3-1 over Eisenhower. Ellensburg swept Ephrata. Chelan swept Omak, and Kashmir down Quincy. On the Les Schwab Prep volleyball scoreboard for the smaller schools, Okanagan swept Lake Roosevelt. Brewster edging Liberty Bell. Manson takes 3 from Oroville. Tenasket topped Bridgeport. Moses Lake Christian down Easton in 3 sets, and Soap Lake swept Pateros. The schedule: Waterville Mansfield is at Pateros tonight at 5:15. Then tomorrow the Shockers will visit Easton at 11 a.m. Cascade will host Clay Elum. Oroville has a noon match at Republic. Eastmont has a non-leaguer tomorrow against Monroe at 1 o'clock, and Manson is at LaConner tomorrow afternoon at 2. Scoreboard from our friends at Les Schwab in soccer. Sela edged Ephrata in a shootout. Chelan shut out Omak. Kashmir topped Quincy. Tenasket beat Pateros. Brewster blasted Oroville. Okanagan over Manson, no problems there, as you see, and Liberty Bell over Bridgeport. The schedule for soccer: they're all tomorrow. It's Quincy hosting Kiona Benton. Tenasket travels to Davenport. Ephrata hosts Othello. Wenatchee visits Eastmont. Moses Lake will host Ike, and Liberty Bell is at Cascade. And we will be right back at Wildcat Stadium tomorrow. We know the way by now for Game 2 between the Panthers and Eastmont. Of course, Eastmont won the first game at the Apple Bowl in September, 2-1. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen will have the call. Our pregame beginning a little before 1 o'clock tomorrow here on the NCW Life channel. The Wenatchee Wild now without their head coach, Kevin Constantine, fired by the team yesterday. They continue their longest road trip of the year this weekend. First of 2 games against Prince George tonight at 7. The Wild and the Cougars will meet again tomorrow at 7. Then they stop at Kamloops Sunday for another game at 4 o'clock. You can hear the action locally with our friend Austin Drade on 560 KPQ. Weekend sports: 13th ranked Washington State, UCLA in the Rose Bowl, noon tomorrow, Pac-12 Network. Central Washington plays at home against Eastern New Mexico at 6 o'clock. The Huskies and the Eagles don't play anybody. Major League Baseball enters the divisional round with 4 games on the slate tomorrow. Baltimore will host Texas at 11:03. That's right, 11:03. on FS1. That'll be followed at 1:45 by Minnesota and Houston from Minute Maid Park. The afternoon belongs to the National League. Atlanta will host Philadelphia on TBS, and then 6:30 tomorrow night it's Arizona at the Dodgers. And the Seahawks have a bye this weekend, but the rest of the NFC plays on Sunday. Arizona will host Cincinnati. Most viewers will get the Eagles and Rams in Los Angeles. And, of course, Sunday Night Football, the 49ers and the Cowboys. National Broadcasting Corporation, 5:20. And there you go. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 25 minutes after the hour. It is October 6th, the Obscura holiday. We'll just throw up the photo and you'll figure it out for yourself. Look at the Mad Hatter's hat. 10/6, Mad Hatter's Day. So this is a day that if they allow you to wear a hat to work, or you have to wear a hat to work, you can wear a crazy hat, a goofy hat, a funny hat, anything than what your regular hat would be. It has nothing actually to do with the date. It was a bunch of guys, a bunch of computer programmers about 40 years ago decided to have a crazy hat day, and so they were inspired by that to wear a crazy hat to work. But it's not because of October 6th on the hat. That's what the hat cost to the Mad Hatter. He had to pay 10 pounds, 6 shillings to buy the hat, and he just kept the price tag on it in the illustrations that came with the book Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. So it's Mad Hatter Day. Not much of a hat wear. You probably noticed that I almost never wear a hat. I don't know why, I just don't. But if you got a goofy hat, you can wear it today. You have my permission. It's National Mad Hatter Day. It is 26 minutes after the hour. Today in history, the decline of the silent film and the rise of talkies began with the world premiere of Al Jolson starring in The Jazz Singer. In New York City, the brothers Warner rolled the dice big time on this one. They knew if this didn't work, they would be pretty much out of business, but Warner Brothers took the plunge. The technology was not what it would be eventually, or even what it was today. Of course, they would be able to eventually put sound on the film itself, so as the film went through the projector, it would play the sound that was embedded on the film. Not quite the way they did it. Back in 1927, they actually had records and the PA system, and it was a silent movie, but whenever Al Jolson sang, they would throw up a separate reel. The movie was only 88 minutes long, but it was 15 reels, because every time there was a musical number, they would have to cue up the reel, and they would play the reel. The projection would be silent, but they would synchronize that with the record played in the booth. So they had to really, 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 really rehearse it, because if it didn't work, and it didn't synchronize properly, people wouldn't buy it. It worked. It made Warner Brothers a bunch of money, and everybody else in Hollywood went, okay, I guess this is where we're going, and this is where we went. The decline of the silent film era began 96 years ago today. Take a look at this photo. A lot of people don't remember, but before they built Dodger Stadium, after the Dodgers moved from Brooklyn to Los Angeles, they played for a couple of years at the Coliseum. Not exactly a baseball venue, but you could put a lot of people on it. And on this date, in Game 5 of the 1959 World Series, by the way, the White Sox won 1-0, 92,706 people watched the game from the LA Coliseum. Still, to this day, the largest crowd ever to watch a World Series game. I don't think that's ever going to be broken. What a cattywampus layout that was. How'd you like to be sitting in center field for that game? Is there a baseball game going on out there? 44 years ago today, October 6, 1979, Pope John Paul II becomes the very first pontiff to visit the White House. He visited Jimmy Carter. They spoke privately. What they talked about, I don't know. The first pope ever to visit the White House. There have been a few since, but none had done it before. His Holiness did on this date in 1979. And on this date in 1981, 42 years ago today, it was Armed Forces Day in Cairo, Egypt, when they parade all of their tanks and their weapons in front of the leaders of Egypt. Here is ABC's nightly news from this date in 1981.
Egyptian Air Force jets roared over the reviewing stand in a low fly pass when suddenly radio and TV mentioned only the attack. That was followed by Middle East News Agency official reports that he had been injured, but Sadat's own press spokesman, Sharif Ataya, told ABC News about 2.5 hours after the attack that the president was dead. Doreen Kays, ABC News, Cairo.
Sadat, 10 others killed, 28 wounded. No lone gunman there in Cairo on this date of 1981. And let's do some birthdays. One heavenly birthday, the very first American female athlete to become a worldwide celebrity. Helen Willis, the American tennis player. How did she do it? Well, she won 31 Grand Slam titles. That'll do it. 19 singles titles. She absolutely dominated women's tennis during her time. And how did she do it? She practiced against men. She was just 5 times better than any other female tennis player of her time, and she did it by practicing against men. She was born in the state in 1905, lived a long time, died at the age of 92 in 1998. Some real-life birthdays. An aerospace engineer, worked for NASA at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, the U.S. Air Force, nuclear. The guy was super, super smart. And then he was even super, super smarter because Lonnie Johnson back in 1990 invented the Super Soaker water gun, which made him a gazillionaire many, many times. It's still one of the half-dozen biggest selling toys ever. Lonnie Johnson took all of his knowledge and built a really big squirt gun that everybody loves. He's 74 years old today. The very first African-American coach to win a Super Bowl, Tony Dungy, coached the Colts to victory in Super Bowl 41. In fact, he coached the Colts to 10 straight playoff appearances. He's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, 68 years old today. And a gal I had a crush on in my younger years, Elizabeth Shue from The Karate Kid, and she's done other movies as well, Cocktail, Back to the Future, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 9. She's only a year older than I am. She's 60 years old today. Still a common opinion from my Mad Dog McNaughty. If you watched yesterday's show, we showed you part 1 of our inside tour of the brand new Chelan PUD Service Center out there in Old Station with our friend Dan Frazier. Today you'll see part 2. First things first, Piggy the dog needs a home as Paws for Pets.
Hi, I'm Corley with Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, animal care coordinator here. And this beautiful girl is Piggy. Say hello, camera. Piggy is just over a year old, and she came to us with her sister as an owner surrender a month or 2 ago. And while her sister got adopted pretty quick, we still have Piggy, and she is looking for her forever home. Because she's an owner surrender, we know that she gets along great with cats and children, which is really valuable info. Oh, and we do know that she was surrendered not through any fault of hers, but through a living situation issue where they could not keep her, unfortunately. Piggy is a staff favorite here. She is our snuggle bug, and yeah, she would happily spend all day just curled up next to you or in your lap, or just being near anybody who possibly walks by her kennel. She's really quiet girl, and she's very clean, and she loves her stuffies. She knows how to sit and how to lay down, and she's very treat motivated and super smart. So I think she would pick up anything that you want to train her to do. She's just really all over a great dog and would be an amazing addition to any family. Oh, she does get along nicely with other dogs, but honestly, I think the perfect home for her would be where she's the only object of your affection. If you'd like to come meet Piggy, we are open Thursday through Tuesday, 11 till 6, and we would absolutely love for you to meet her.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
My name is Brian Thorpe. I own Global Car Care in Wenatchee and have been here for about 25 years.
Brian started Global Car Care as Brian's automotive alternative on Orondo Street.
Some customers were following Brian since Brian's automotive time?
No, we're just grateful to be part of this community. This is where I grew up. We want to do our part to be a valuable part of this community. We want to thank you for trusting our business for 25 years.
Crystal's Intimate Lounge in downtown Leavenworth is a wonderful place to enjoy mouth-watering appetizers and drinks while socializing, watching sports, playing bingo, pull tabs, or simply relaxing while enjoying the breathtaking mountain views. Crystal's family-friendly restaurant has a warm environment to enhance your dining experience, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Crystal's restaurant, lounge, and event space is located 2 blocks west of downtown Leavenworth on Highway 2.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the Diagnostic Doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
This is Grace, and this is her world record-holding guinea pig with an iconic name, Abby.
She currently holds the Guinness World Record for the highest bar jump by a guinea pig. I ride horses and I jump, so I kind of thought it'd be interesting to teach my guinea pig to jump like my horse does.
One day she came out of her room and looked at us, and I said, "Did you get it?" And she said, "Yeah, we got it."
After we won our award, we came to Abby's to celebrate.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNally. Everybody's entitled to my opinion when someone mentions white male privilege. Us white guys got our panties in a pucker. What privilege, we say? I work for everything I have. Well, the privilege we're talking about here is not something we had to earn. And also, truly, it's not something that we're deliberately trying to take from someone else. It's just the benefit that society gives us because of our maleness and the color of our skin. Now, I'm sorry, let's face it. I have accomplished some things in my life due to hard work, education, responsibility, etc. There's no denying that. But I also have to admit that I may not have had the same payoffs for that hard work and responsibility or the same opportunities I've had if I had been female, Hispanic, black, what have you. Now, is there any shame in admitting that? No, of course not. And admitting it doesn't negate my hard work and responsibility. But denying I've had this privilege, well, that smacks of social injustice and a denial of the unfairness of life that has been unfair in my favor and at someone else's expense. This is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and that's my opinion.
Attention, attention, Collins Fashions has a red dot sale on summer sundresses, capris, shorts, tees, tanks, and sandals, all at 50% off. Look for the red dot racks. Fall fashions from Tribal, Charlie B, French dressing, Habitat are arriving daily. Cozy sweaters and tops, great fitting jeans and slacks selected just for you. Brighton Apple Watch bands are fantastic and are in stock. Amazing service and selection at Collins in downtown Wenatchee.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
The Wenatchee Valley. Here, most of us really enjoy the great outdoors, and most of us try to make the most of our natural resources. Here at Apple Valley Honda, we know that for generations, we have harnessed nature to sustainably power the West, and we are proud to be part of that tradition as an environmentally green dealership award winner. Being a green dealership means Apple Valley Honda has reduced our overall environmental impact. We are so proud to live in this wonderful community.
At Kennedy Group, we understand that buying and selling is more than a transaction, and it's more than just a house. This is where you will gather with friends and family, and where a lifetime of memories will be made. But buying a home is more than memories. Oftentimes, it's your biggest financial decision. The agents at Kennedy Group understand this and provide real estate advice based on your goals and dreams. Call us today, and let's find your happy place.
Welcome back. This is part 2 of our Inside the brand new Chelan PUD Service Center. Still getting used to it. I'm Dan Kuntz. This handsome and talented and good-looking guy is another Dan, Dan Frazier. So Dan's had that one thing. We have a lot in common.
We do.
That's what we're just good-looking guys.
Absolutely.
Hope you enjoyed the first part from yesterday. We're picking up basically where we left off. We're back in the lobby, and this catches your eye. You walk in the lobby, you see the big open spaces, which is just beautiful. This is cool.
This is our Customer Energy Solutions interactive display board. So this is something that was kind of a last minute addition, but we're so happy that we were able to make it happen. So this is a place that people can come over and get information about different things. Got to push the right spot. And anything that has a white box, and so chimney tips on how to keep your chimney from bringing in cold air. We have different things like insulation, shows you how the insulation helps you conserve energy, what the costs are. So this is kind of the adult. This is what we care about. I don't think my kids care too much about that, but the kids might want to go and play with a coloring book. And so they can do things down at the bottom. They can do video games, trying to see how it all works. I'm sure the kids are smarter than I am.
Yeah, you need a kid to operate this.
Yeah, I think we do. But they're able to play some games down here, and they have to do with energy conservation. So you can get information about rebates. There's all kinds of different interactive energy conservation tips and information on this.
And bilingual. You can switch from English to Spanish. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Want to learn more? And then it has Dan's cell phone.
Has a QR code.
Oh, okay.
So that one doesn't, I know. So this one has the QR. So want to learn more, you just scan that with your phone and it takes you to some additional information.
That is really, really cool. Really cool.
Right now, I think we have a corner with a heat pump in it is our Customer Energy Solutions site with some pamphlets. So really moving into the next information age with interactive displays.
For our last second edition, this was a great idea.
Yeah, it turned out really, really well.
Yep.
Still under construction slightly. Hopefully this will all be tucked away by Saturday.
By Saturday. Where to, Dan?
So we're going to go over here. One of the things that we really wanted to be able to do with this was make our cafeteria accessible to the public. As we started looking at the old station area as a whole and what it had to offer.
Not much.
Not a lot. It's expanding. There have been some new restaurants added, but
you can only eat at Arby's so much.
Exactly. So Gerald's Cafe is our cafeteria here. It is open to the public. Obviously, this is a little between shifts for them. They get a little morning rush and an afternoon. Their afternoons have been kind of hectic as I've been here.
And there's direct access off from the outside.
You can come from the outside. These doors will open at I believe 7 o'clock, and so people can come in and
my guess, you're going to have people
breakfast
from the North Central Educational Services District and the various other businesses, perhaps the VA, will want to come down here and have their breakfast sandwich.
Yeah, we've actually heard from a couple of the office buildings up the road asking, when are you opening, when are you opening? So we're really excited to welcome our friends in here.
And it sure smells good in here.
It always smells good because they're frequently cooking bacon.
Ooh, no wonder.
Yes. So next we'll take you out into the plaza.
And I have to give credit to whoever came up with this idea. This is just stunning.
You know, it's been so long ago, I'm not sure I remember who actually came up with this idea of the Columbia River represented through all the dams. Obviously, it's not a scale model per se, but it is a scale in terms of the height of the dam, the size of the reservoir. And so we talk all the way from Grand Coulee Dam all the way down to the mouth of the Columbia. Each one of these is represented. There's obviously different, at the end, there's a lot of information about what the dams do. But we were able to get all the information about the height of the dam and the capacity of each of the dams and put it on this really attractive
It gives people an idea to remember that before the dams came in, and even now, the Columbia River has a huge elevation change. It's not particularly long, but it flowed before the dams came in. This sucker cooked.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it flew, and it gives folks a good idea. It doesn't. It goes from just at the Canadian border to the Pacific Ocean. It's a huge elevation change.
It's quite an elevation change. And one of the things that we try to tie to is obviously the natural surroundings here. And so at the Rock Island project, the area down below Rock Island Dam was actually called Nixon Rapids. And we don't have any rapids on the Columbia anymore, but that was called Nixon Rapids. So we actually named our warehouse at that area, Nixon Rapids, to tie back to before the dams. There was, you saw the steamboat accidents and all those things that were in the news from prior to the dams.
River used to freeze over, these kinds of things.
It's a lot different. And so this kind of gives a nice representation of what the whole Columbia Dam system is and how much it's supplying in terms of megawatts of power for our communities and throughout the Northwest. Also, what makes Chelan County is orchards. And so as we thought about vegetation for the site, we wanted to kind of represent in some way the orchards. And so we have these flowering fruit trees set in rows, so it kind of has that orchard feel as you walk into the site. We do want to encourage people to kind of sit out here and have their lunch. We're going to have some picnic tables out here once we get into the better weather. We're not going to put them out because I think we'll have snow here shortly, I think.
So in 4 or 5 years, these trees are going to be spectacular.
This will provide great shade. It is on the shady side of the building, which is really nice. We wanted to, people can get out here in the summer and you've got that shade. If you look at some of these areas where we have some explanation of the landscaping, so we tried to do as much as we could with native landscaping. So we you'll see grasses and different natives, and we try to explain kind of what is in each area. And this is a riparian area, so cut into the Corten steel is just a little information about a riparian area and what it does for the ecosystem.
Similar to what you see when you're on the loop trail.
Absolutely.
That little section there in the loop trail, same kind of a deal. These are all plants native to this area.
Tried to get as much native material as we could. I think it kind of adds to the feel that it's we're trying to fit in as much as the environment. Yes, it's an office building, but we do want to try to fit into the environment around the area. As you look to the outside of the building, I know we talked about this last year or 2 years ago when it was just starting to take shape, and you notice the verticality of the sections. It's supposed to kind of mirror the columnar rocks that we see in the landscape around here. So we're trying to kind of draw that.
It doesn't look institutional, is what I like about it.
Yeah.
Yes, there's some serious people doing serious work here, but people are going to want to come to work every day and work in this kind of facility.
Absolutely. It really, as we thought about how to make the building, kind of reflect, the mission of the PUD, and we wanted to show that permanence. As I referred to a couple times, we're about the dams. What are the dams? They're concrete. They're not going anywhere, we hope. And so how do we show that through a building? Well, it's this type of material. So concrete, brick, it shows the permanence, and it's without being pretentious. It's not gold plated. It's not, I think the finishes are very industrial looking. They'll last. They're low maintenance, and that was our goal, was to both have reasonable initial costs, but long term the best cost of maintaining. So that was all part of. We did a 50-year study. What's it going to cost to build and maintain these buildings for 50 years? And this was the best solution.
And it's still going to take you another 4 months or so to move everybody in, right? That's the timeline,
Absolutely.
January of next year?
Absolutely. So the next group of buildings will get delivered in the next couple of weeks. We'll start moving those folks in early November. And then the final 2 buildings are going to be delivered at the end of the year, kind of late December. And those folks will move in. Fish and Wildlife and Fleet will be the last to move in, unfortunately, to join us out here. But they'll be moving in probably the early January.
And as Dan and I talked off camera, it's just like whenever you move, be it a business, a government institution, or your own self, you end up with a lot of leftover junk that you don't need anymore, and you're going to have a lot of stuff you don't need anymore, from office supplies to desks to chairs to who knows what, and you're going to surplus a lot of that stuff. And
we're working, obviously we have the whole 5th Street redevelopment project that's been going on for a while, and we're close on a couple of sales of that property, but that means we had to get it out of their way. And so we do have to get our old materials, a lot of desks and partitions that we'll be probably auctioning off. I think the first thing we're going to do is make sure that there are needs at the PUD, because we do have other facilities that could use some of that equipment, and we'll be doing that first. And then doing some auctions, and we actually have been using gov.com or govdeals.com, excuse me, to get rid of things in anticipation of this. So there's been a lot of old printers and those kind of things going out the door. So we'll continue to do that until early next year.
And the YMCA and the other vested interests are very excited about this. This is really this is a win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win. It's like a 9-winner here.
It has been all the way back from talking to the port about a win-win on this site, with them selling it to us and us having good use for it. Now, what's going to take our place downtown? The YMCA has been excited for several years about that facility, and we are this close to getting that deal done. And so they would be looking to break ground early next year.
One more thing, Dan, we'll cut you loose. Saturday, the complex is open now. You can come in and do your business, pay your bill, whatever the case may be, as you saw. But Saturday is the big day. Walk me through Saturday.
Saturday, we're going to start 10 a.m. for everyone to be here, kind of get oriented a little bit, and then we'll have a ribbon cutting starting at 10:15. It will go hopefully pretty briefly until 10:45, cut the actual ribbon, and then we'll be doing tours similar to what we gave you. We'll give a tour to anybody that wants a tour of the building, take you back behind the scenes, as you said. And there's food, there's these little passports for the kids to get stamped. There'll be stations inside to where people will explain what's happening in that area, and the kids can get their passport stamped. There'll be mariachi. I'm trying to remember everything. We're going to have a lot of good fun out here on Saturday.
If you need one of those giant oversized pairs of scissors for ribbon cutting, I know my brother has one just right outside his office.
Yes, I've seen that.
You can borrow it if you want.
Okay, well, I appreciate that.
For a minimal charge.
Of course.
Dan Fraser, one more question. From a personal standpoint, you've spearheaded this project as much as anybody. How does this? It's here. It's happened. It's done.
Yeah,
not done, but
yeah, it's almost done. And
how do you feel?
It's kind of strange because it's a bit surreal. As you work through a project like this, you're always looking at what's next week, what's next month, and we've always had that move-in date out there. But it's always been something that we'll get there when we get there. But when I started walking through the facility downtown, I didn't move for the first couple of weeks. And seeing the people were gone, it's like, oh, this is actually happening. So it's that we ate the elephant. Is what it feels like. You didn't think you could actually get there, but I have to say the support from our commissioners funding this project, that was a huge risk for them to step out and say, we think this is the best, and we're going to do that. So from the commissioners, we assembled an awesome team. David Lodge has been the project manager, and Casey Headley, our construction manager, from the very beginning of this project. Those guys live this project day to day. It really is. It feels like kind of being a parent, watching your kids, kind of in this case be born, but watching everybody just do an amazing job, and really proud of how the team did.
And I know when the people come in from the old building to the new building, there's a little endorphin release. They're like, wow.
You're always nervous, right? So you think, oh gosh, we did a really good job, didn't we? And then they come in and you're just holding your breath. And the response has been great. It's been phenomenal. Of course, there's little things, did we think about this? Did we think about that? Sure. But overall, everybody's been very, very positive about how the building's working for them and just how it looks and how it feels.
Congratulations, Dan, and to everybody who took part of it.
All right, I'll pass it on to the team.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, like my approval means anything to these guys. Dan Fraser,
Absolutely.
Good to see you, my friend. We'll be right back.
Badger Mountain Brewery is your cure for boredom. Jam Night Mondays. Trivia Wednesdays. Live Music Fridays. And Sunday Brunch. There's always something brewing at Badger Mountain, so come join the party.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
All right, weekend's almost here. In fact, if you stand on your tiptoes, you can actually see the weekend from here. Once again, a programming reminder, we will have Eastmont Wildcat football tonight, 6:30 at Wildcat Stadium with the pregame kickoff at 7 o'clock. They'll be hosting the West Valley Rams with Paul Collard and Grant Olson with the call. Again, 6:30 airtime, 7 o'clock kickoff. It'll be streaming on our website, ncwlife.com, and on our Facebook page. And then our crew will be right back at Wildcat Stadium tomorrow for the Eastmont Wildcats and the Wenatchee Panthers in girls soccer. This will be a good one. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wiesen with the call. We'll take to the air just before 1 o'clock. We always encourage people to go to the events and cheer on our local prep athletes, but if for whatever reason it doesn't fit in your schedule, you can watch football tonight and soccer tomorrow. And don't forget tonight, if you're going to the football game, bundle up. Once the sun goes down, it gets pretty cold. I see kids running around in shorts, and then by halftime they're freezing, so, be prepared. Be prepared for a beautiful stretch of weather. Check this out, folks. It's been no secret. We've been showing this forecast pretty much all week long. And as we used to say in Top 40 Radio, the hits just keep on coming. Mild, dry, unseasonably warm. We're going to be about 76, 77 today. We had 79 yesterday. As you look at Saturday's forecast high, the record high on Saturday, 79 degrees, set back in 2020. That's for October 7th. And the record high for October 8th, which is Sunday, 79 degrees, set back in 2014. So we do have the possibility of tying or maybe even surpassing record high temperatures both for Saturday the 7th and Sunday the 8th. We shall see. And then changes come. It'll be cooler, breezier, and a little wet on Monday and Tuesday with a good chance of much needed rain on Monday night. All right, that's it for us. Have yourself a fantabulous weekend, and we'll see you Monday morning at 7 a.m. Until then, bye-bye.
Greetings, North Central Washington. Welcome to Networked, the show that brings you the brightest minds and inspiring stories from the world of technology, community development, and beyond. I'm your host, Jenny Rojanasatian, the Executive Director of NCW Tech Alliance, and I am so thrilled to have you join us today. On this episode of Networked, we have a very special guest joining us, a true powerhouse who's making a tremendous impact in our community. Rosa Polito, who was born and raised right here in the Valley. Rosa brings a wealth of knowledge and experience to the table.